Pressure is not the enemy. Untrained reaction is. When stress hits, most people panic, overthink, react emotionally, make desperate decisions. The Stoic does something different. Pause, breathe, observe. Instead of asking, "How do I escape this?" ask, "How do I respond with strength?" Pressure is a test of emotional conditioning. If you break under small pressure, you are never strong, only comfortable. Train yourself to stay steady when things go wrong, because the person who remains calm while others panic naturally becomes the leader. Be that person. Emotional endurance. Strength is not explosive, it is enduring. Anyone can be intense for one day. Few can stay consistent for years. Emotional endurance means you don't collapse when results are slow. You don't quit when recognition doesn't come. You don't lose discipline when motivation fades. Epictetus was born a slave. He endured hardship, humiliation, and limitation, yet he became one of the most respected philosophers in history. Why? Because circumstances did not dictate his mindset. You must build emotional stamina. There will be days when you feel invisible, you feel tired, you feel discouraged. On those days, you don't need motivation. You need endurance. Tell yourself, "I can handle discomfort. I can handle delay. I can handle temporary pain." Mental toughness is built by staying steady longer than others. Most people quit not because they are incapable, but because they are impatient. Outlast the difficulty. That alone separates you. Control of fear. Fear is natural. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of loss, fear of uncertainty. The Stoic does not eliminate fear. He understands it. Fear is often imagination projecting a negative future. As Seneca warned, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about it. How many times have you feared something that never happened? Fear grows when you avoid it. Fear shrinks when you confront it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action despite fear. If you are afraid to speak, speak. If you are afraid to try, try. If you are afraid to fail, fail forward. Each confrontation reduces fear's power. Remember this: fear controls those who negotiate with it. It respects those who face it. Do not let imagined futures dictate present action. Act anyway. Radical responsibility. Blame is easy. Blame the economy. Blame your upbringing. Blame your critics. Blame bad luck. Blame gives temporary comfort, but permanent weakness. Stoic mentality demands radical responsibility. Even if something is not your fault, it is still your responsibility how you respond. You may not control what happened, but you control what happens next. This mindset is empowering, because the moment you stop blaming, you regain control. You stop waiting for rescue. You stop waiting for fairness. You stop waiting for permission. You adapt. You improve. You move forward. Responsibility is heavy, but it builds strength. Blame is light, but it keeps you weak. Choose strength. Becoming untouchable internally. The ultimate Stoic goal is this: to become untouchable internally. This does not mean life won't hurt. It means life won't control you. Criticism may come, loss may come, unexpected change may come, but your inner state remains stable. You are not controlled by praise. You are not destroyed by insult. You are not shaken by temporary setbacks. Your stability comes from self-discipline, clear principles, emotional control, acceptance of reality. You accept what is. You work with what you have. You focus on what you can influence, and because of that, nothing truly owns you. That is freedom. Not external freedom, internal freedom. And when a person masters themselves, they become unshakable. Accept reality. One of the greatest sources of suffering in life is resisting reality. People spend energy wishing things were different. They wish the past had never happened. They wish people behaved differently. They wish life was always fair. But reality does not change because we resist it. The Stoic mindset begins with acceptance. Acceptance does not mean weakness, it means clarity. Epictetus taught that peace comes when we accept what we cannot control and focus on what we can. You cannot control the past, other people, unexpected events, but you can control your response. When you stop fighting reality, your mind becomes clear. Instead of wasting energy on frustration, you begin working with the situation in front of you. Acceptance is not surrender. It is the beginning of intelligent action. The Stoic looks at reality exactly as it is, without illusions, without denial. And from that clarity, he moves forward. Remember, you will die. This may sound dark, but it is one of the most powerful Stoic practices. Remember that life is temporary. The Stoics called this memento mori. Remember that you will die. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often that life is short and uncertain. Why think about death? Because it removes illusions. When you remember that time is limited, small arguments become meaningless. Petty insults lose their power. Fear of judgment disappears. You begin to focus on what truly matters: your character, your actions, your legacy. Every day becomes valuable. Every decision becomes intentional. Instead of wasting time worrying about things that do not matter, you start living with purpose. Remembering death does not make life sad. It makes life precious. The art of letting go. Much of human suffering comes from attachment. Attachment to outcomes, attachment to possessions, attachment to expectations. We believe happiness depends on keeping things exactly the way we want. But life constantly changes. People leave, situations evolve, plans fail. The Stoic learns the art of letting go. Seneca taught that everything we have is temporary. Your success is temporary. Your comfort is temporary. Even your difficulties are temporary. When you understand this deeply, you stop clinging. You appreciate what you have while it exists. But you are not destroyed when it disappears. Letting go creates emotional freedom. You still care, you still work hard, but your peace does not depend on permanence. And that gives you strength. The power of gratitude. The Stoic mindset is not only about discipline, it is also about appreciation. Many people focus only on what they lack. They compare their lives to others. They chase endless desires. But the Stoics practiced gratitude daily. They reflected on what they already had: health, time, knowledge, opportunities to improve. Gratitude changes perspective. Instead of feeling deprived, you feel fortunate. Instead of feeling frustrated, you feel motivated to use what you have wisely. Gratitude also builds resilience. When difficulties appear, you remember that life still offers value. A grateful mind is a stable mind, and stability is the foundation of strength. The quiet power of character. At the end of life, very few things truly matter. Not the number of followers you had, not the amount of money you accumulated, not how famous you became. What remains is character. How you treated others, how you handled adversity, how you stayed true to your values. Marcus Aurelius believed that the true purpose of life is to live according to virtue. Virtue means wisdom, courage, justice, self-control. These qualities cannot be taken from you. External success may come and go, but character remains. A Stoic life is a life built on principles, even when nobody is watching, even when it is difficult, even when it costs something. This quiet strength is the true mark of a Stoic, because in the end, the most powerful person is the one who mastered themselves.